Okay, welcome Azmyl to Taiwan.
Thank you for having me.
Especially during this kind of post-COVID area.
Yeah,
right?
it's great.
Post-era, the global thing. And your latest release in 2020 is called John Bangi. Bangi is Mani, John Bangi Blues.
Yes.
And actually it's very heartily welcomed by a lot of people who are really into music. And
yes.
Can you talk about your idea of releasing a very kind of a rough back to the roots of the rock music during the COVID period of time?
Yeah, well, the roots of the album began before COVID, so it relates closely to, I think, the politics and economy in Malaysia around 2018 when we had this election, and for the first time the ruling party lost, the ruling coalition lost, and particularly one character, our former Prime Minister Najib. So he was this character that was annoying to me, very annoying. But of course, I also became a father in 2016. So it was a period where I was considering like, can I still do this? It's gonna be busy.
But since you become a father, why your sound is so more fiercely rather than your folk music, right?
Exactly. So,
especially your Fender guitars is so attacking.
Yes, I was afraid I would be. I get mellow. I thought I would become father, mellow, write about my children, But I was pleasantly surprised. But actually, the album I had envisioned it to be. This album by Bob Dylan called John Wesley Harding.
Yeah, John Wesley Harding.
Just trio, guitar, bass, acoustic.
Yeah, when it was released, it surprised people, right?
Yes.
Back to the Western kind of roots thing,
yes, right? I love the album. So the songs that I came up with, I wrote those songs while taking care of my children, in between. They're twins, so I thought, so I became more disciplined in my songwriting. And I think that's why the songs were very compact, very on the dot. And I envision it to be acoustic like John Wesley Harding. Yeah. So hence the name John Bangi Blues. Was initially that's one reason.
One reason, right?
There's several more. Then in 2019 went to the studio. Wanted to record one of my other bands, but they're a bigger band and they were too busy. So I called two friends who I really want to try collaborate with. Was my bassist called Christopher Chong, who plays a bit in my other band Ayub. Orkespadu, and Amar, who's a drummer in my noise rock band, which we toured last year in Taiwan in 2019.
Yeah, 2019.
I always want to do something. He's such a great rock drummer. So we went to the studio. I brought acoustic guitar, but I just brought my telly along in case. When I started jamming in the studio, it just didn't feel
that kind of
I said, not nice. Hold on, guys.
Mixed energy, mixed feeling, right?
Yeah, it was just too low. Okay, put my electric out. Okay, man, it's gonna be the telly.
Yeah. Especially the first song called Penghasel Blues.
Yes.
Right? It's very kind of in the first track, right?
Yes.
It's kind of defining the sounds of this album.
Yes.
Can you talk more about this different kind of blues?
Yeah.
The meaning of blues, especially this sound, and the other track is different kind of feeling.
True.
Because you say you want to express something about the situation. But actually, not all the music are not that political oriented.
Yeah, they're not.
Some different kind of thing.
Yeah.
Especially the second track is Lori Hanto. It's kind of Malaysia track, right?
Yes.
Why? It's kind of working class people's track.
Yeah. Okay, so I think then I'll put the context of the second reason about this album. Essentially, when I first started performing in... Well, I mean, that's the name, but let me talk about John Bangi as Bangi. So I'm from the town called Bangi. That's my hometown. So Bangi is south of Kuala Lumpur. South Kuala Lumpur isn't the cool area to live. People want to live north of KL. When I say that I'm from Bangi, they go, "Oh, that's very far." It's not far. It's a highway, man. It's like 20 minutes to KL.
20 minutes.
But I've lived there since I was 12, and it's a very conservative town. The Islamic Party is the mainstay there. But next to Bangi is the town called Kajang, which is a lot more diverse. It's a economic town, bigger Chinese community. But it's also south, so it's near the airport, and there's a lot of industry there. Palm oil, a lot of stuff going on. So I thought I wanted to do something about that region. So hence but Bangi as a town is a very middle class Malay Muslim town. A lot of people from different parts of Malaysia come there to live because it's probably cheaper initially to live there.
Okay.
But so the album is a commentary, a social critique about the middle class values, about being a new middle class Malay. So but there were things like the lorry hantu is something that's very common there, where because there's a lot of developments, a lot of plum.
So you can see all the trucks every day on the highway.
On the highway, and they use usually recycled tires, and the tires would explode. And you drive, you see like rubber on the road. And then you see big lorries, because they usually, what happens with the palm oil estates.
So that sounds like kind of building a kind of soundscape of the
the soundscape. Yeah. But the irony was when I first wrote Lorry Hantu, I imagined it to be a country music, slower, like a lullaby with a pedal steel,
Yeah.
But again, went to the studio, knocked it out.
Yeah, so people studio live.
I was like, hey guys, this is what I imagined it, but the song tells me otherwise.
Okay.
So Pengasuh Blues was also something that inspired by that 2018 thing. So it's a commentary on our former Prime Minister.
Pengasuh, can you tell me the meaning of Pengasuh?
It means instigator.
So you want to instigate,
right? So our former Prime Minister used to always say that like,
anybody
who critique him is a penghasut. And one of my friends, who is also a big fan of my music, Fahmi Reza, a very popular political graphic artist. So he started this poster called Penghasut with his clown face,
Is that kind of the tradition of anti-communism, anti-left, anti-social critiques?
That's where he's coming from,
So people are really taking it.
Fahmi is coming from really that side. And ironically, that's not his favorite track on the album. But anyway,
But put it on the first track.
Yeah, put it first track.
Define some kind of sound in this album.
It did. And that was actually my friend who produced it, Arif. He this is why I like making albums. Like you have a bunch of songs.
Yeah.
And I usually don't determine where it is. And then he would, as a producer, he'll think of also where go first. So we looked at it and he said this should start first.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I had another idea.
Yeah, I mean, besides of this critique, you have a song called I don't want to buy anything. They call it marking. I call it fuck you.
Yeah.
So you're very straightforward. It's kind of middle class consumerism, right?
Yes. So it is a critique on consumerism, because my town Bangi becomes a very Islamic consumerist town. So that's where you find all the boutiques selling the hijab, all this Islamic stuff, clothes. And it's a town that's increasingly becoming, and also the economics is quite ironic, because you have the halal economy and but to me they're both capitalists.
It's like since you kind of half academic, half musician, so you're also using your social critique in your class at the same time in the music.
Yes.
So like middle class consumerism sometimes combined with a kind of nationalism, right?
Yes, exactly.
That's the question, the problem.
Yes.
So another song is the tune is called Orang Kita, right?
Yes, Orang Kita.
Orang is a very indigenous Malaysia people.
Orang is just in Malay means people. So Orang Kita is a term that the Malay Muslims in Malaysia often use.
Kita is us. We, right?
Yeah. So, but when you say Orang Kita, it's usually to refer to just the Malay Muslim. So in our conversation,
so you don't say Chinese.
Yeah, Orang Kita is very specific to just the Malay Muslims. Like Orang Kita, how do we take care of Orang Kita and our people? But
can you explain the lyrics? What you are trying?
Yeah, I think the lyrics was trying to break that. Orang Kita means all of us, not just the Malay Muslims. Because I find that problem is very communal. It's like hey, we should be concerned about all of us, not just a community. So I think what I'm trying to do is take a terminology that's associated with communalism, but I want to break it and say no, this means all of us.
Okay.
So the lyrics in Malay was trying to say like no, Orang Kita is all of us, but I even push it further. It's about us as humans.
Okay.
We are humans.
So we're gonna have a chance later to see you play.
A special acoustic
tracks,
version.
Right?
Yeah, I'll do acoustic version for that. Yeah. Alright, this song's called Orang Kita. Aku, engkau, mereka, kami, kita. Dia tu siapa? Kiri, kanan, atas, bawah, tak ada. Siapa orang kita ni sebenarnya? Halo, Stak Kanga, George dan Victoria, KK Kucing JB Po Melaka, Seremban Kuantan, Shah Alam, KB KTKL Putrajaya. Orang kita tu orang Malaysia, Timur, Barat, Selatan, Utara. Lagi menarik bila berbeza. Apa lu mau semua ada. Orang kita tu orang Malaysia, Timur, Barat, Selatan, Utara. Lagi menarik bila berbeza. Apa lu mau semua ada. Aku, dia, mereka, kami, kita. Kau ni apa? Ini jawapan muktamad gua. Aku manusia. Aku manusia. Aku manusia. Aku manusia. Aku manusia.
And the second part, I want to ask you about your you kind of as a musician. Actually, you've been in this music for like more than 20 years.
Well, 20 odd years, yeah.
And
yeah.
Actually, besides as a musician, you did a lot of like music community things, organization.
Yeah.
Just I mentioned that there is a legendary German craft band, the Can,
yeah,
and he just died. That means Suzuki, right?
Yeah,
and you used to have the kind of project with him.
Just once, but yeah,
Can you talk about your experience of cooperating with other musicians?
Yeah, so that's the other side what I do in music was, because when I started playing I got really active in 2000 onwards. There was no music scene, there was no open mics, but I was very close with the experimental scene. And the experimental scene is very close to the punk scene. And a lot of my acoustic stuff, the cassette releases, actually, that's why my start was in the punk scene.
Yeah.
There wasn't singer-songwriter, I didn't know what a singer-songwriter was.
Yeah, you mentioned the singer-songwriter is not that kind of Western idea of singer-songwriter, right?
So I thought, like, what is it? I'm just solo, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, the same gang, the punk scene, then one day in 2010, I think, say Damo Suzuki is coming down and he's doing his network thing where he just jams with local musicians. Say, Damo Suzuki, man, I'm a big fan. We all are, you know. So then he came and I was tasked to pick him up at his hotel, bring him to the venue. So Damo Suzuki sat in my car, man. I picked him up at the hotel. He's a cool guy, man. So he just sat there, said, how's everything? Good, all right. So brought, and I think our sound check was 10 minutes. That's it. He just like, okay, let's sound check. Then he just did his thing. Okay, let's go eat. It's the best sound check ever.
Yeah. Was that recorded?
There was. I think some guys recorded audio, video was. Yeah, they had that. So, but that was also because from the experimental scene, we did a lot of improvisation.
Yeah.
And the gang who played was from that scene.
So your music training background is different, varied, right? One is very, for me, because you're 12 years younger than me. You're sort of I'm American rock, children of American rock, right? So you are the children of rock and punk. So we all know this tradition.
Same page.
You have this very different kind of nutrition, kind of binding together.
Similar, yeah. True. Different but similar, yeah.
So how do you define your music's roots?
I think, well, in terms of practice, how I ended up doing what I did was I had to do what I did because nobody was doing it. There was nothing offered to us. We started organizing because we weren't used to like waiting around. Nobody cared. About what we're doing now, like suddenly everybody cares and the sponsors, but they never come to us, so we didn't care.
I heard that even in the 90s, British part kind of things it happened in Thailand, a Southeast country, but it's very middle class, right?
Yeah, very middle class. Like I think with the indie scene, a lot of guys went to like Britpop.
Yeah, Britpop.
So, but I wasn't so much into. I was very into the American collegiate kind of rock and that's a punk stuff.
Yeah.
And I was into bands like R.E.M., Nirvana, of course, Nirvana, growing up 90s.
Yeah.
So
when you were playing, do you have the Malaysia version of indie music, or how do you call yourself?
Well, I mean, in the late 90s, everybody was underground, before indie.
Right?
So you had bands that I remember playing a battle band in college. And my band was weird. We because we played the Doors, Jimi Hendrix, but in our own way. And we would go to the battle bands and I would hear a band playing Pearl Jam. And it sounds just like Pearl Jam. Deep voice. Going there is a local guy. Okay. So people were mimicking really well the bands of the time. But I think from then on they started writing their own music.
Yeah.
So original music that transcended from underground to indie only started in the mid to late 90s. Everybody was writing in English. I started writing in English.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
So, but later on, I think I was inspired by Indonesian singer-songwriters and some friends from who were buskers, but folk performers. They were writing Malaysian Malay.
Man.
That's why I decided, I want to try writing in Malay too.
Yeah.
In a colloquial way.
And besides of you jamming with musicians, actually you are involved in a co-op kind of.
Yeah. That's the same gang. That's
musician and artist, right?
Yes.
So it's sort of like artists, not only musicians, but kind of creative.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Right?
That was really fun. That I think that we started a co-op around 2000, 2003. So friends who were from the Chinese underground scene, experimental punk, and we would collaborate with some experimental dancers, and we do performances, playing in cafes, restaurants. Nobody will come.
Yeah,
you know?
but because it's so small, so you need networking, right?
Yes, and that was my first experience of touring. We would play different towns. Some there would be people, some nobody. But it was great. I get to see the landscape.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Did that help you to be like, since you are now lecturing in the university? Was your experience really help you to communicate with the so-called digital generation?
I think definitely, because I was dealing, it seems primitive now, but even then, you had all this internet, coming in. So we had to adjust to that, right? So I think when I communicate with my students now, it's the same thing, like, look, you have social media and this stuff, but it's all about adapting.
Yeah.
And I think for me, I was very clear that this experimental stuff, this isn't the stuff that's gonna get me more gigs, but I need to do it. It's important.
Yeah.
And
So do you encourage your student to be musician or artist?
I said, do what you want to do. I said,
yeah,
that's what
because that's one of the MV is actually directed by your students, right?
Yeah, actually, a lot of it. It's a collaboration, kind of a personal project that I want to. For a very long time, I wanted to work with students because I want to see their interpretation of. It's a generational interpretation of my song. I usually don't interfere. You know, let them do it. You know, nothing to lose. Yeah. Plus, I tell them my budget is too small. I can't tell you what to do. Okay. So that helps, you know.
Yeah. So that's from do it yourself to do it together, right?
Yes.
So nowadays we call do it together, right?
Yes, do it together. Yeah.
Generation, different kind of
yes.
things.
And plus, you know, back when I first started playing, I didn't think I was going to be academic. But I was always into, you know, ideas, right? Reading stuff, and if you're into experimental music, you would read deeper into it. Why they do it? Why? Exactly. The why is so important, right? Yeah. So,
can you tell me more about actually your music experience and your academic? Actually, you're more into kind of post-colonial critique, right? And the critical capitalism. Do you think that kind of transform something, that kind of sounding in your music?
I think, definitely. Because I think if people see me on the surface, you're like, you look like a modern musician. You know, I play Western instrument. You know, I look like they wear my cap backwards. But this is all planned, man. Yeah. This is all semiotics. You know. So for me, it's like I don't wanna exoticize the indigenous. Like I can play, I can wear sonko, do all that stuff, but
you don't do that, right?
Yeah, I don't. I mean, like I don't live that way.
Yeah.
I wear pants, man. I mean, I wear sarong.
We don't have to pretend it, right?
Yeah. I wear sarong at home, but you know, if I wear sarong on stage, it's a statement. It's not being comfortable, because there's no pockets, you know. But
so you don't consider your music as a kind of statement, but a kind of sounding. Do you consider your music a protest songs or a message song or just music?
I guess first and foremost. Storytelling, I think.
Storytelling, right?
Then the message comes in. Then, if it's a protest, it's a protest. You know, so people call. You know, Malaysia, we don't have a strong protest music culture. I think now the active kind of protesting us, or at least people call us, is me and another guy called Brian Gomez, who runs a music venue. I always play at Comedy Karya in Malaysia. Shout out to Brian. So yeah, it's not a tradition, because I think people are just, I don't know, we're very conformist. Malaysian society is very conformist, very consumerist, but they don't see that. So that's why I feel the need to critique, to comment on this, because hey, look at yourself. Yeah. Like you know, like we are the most obese nation in Southeast Asia. Yeah. If you know about that was statistics.
But the first principle is that the music had to be interesting enough, right?
Yes, it's got to be catchy enough.
Yeah, for people to get into that.
Because I think I realized I had that gift. While I was doing experimental stuff, you know, I still hadn't released like a proper solo album that was catchy enough. So I was conflicted. Should I follow this or that? But then I thought, I'll just do all. Yeah. Why not? You know? Yeah. So I'll do my solo stuff, and people say, I like your song, it's very catchy. So okay, I've got this gift of melody. So instead of just writing about lame love songs, why don't I write about something that you're bothered about? Okay. You know? Yeah. Oh, I'm bothered about it.
Yeah, we take a rest, and next part we're gonna see Azmyl play one or two songs for us.
Sure.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. This is called song I Don't Want to Buy Anything. When I wake up in the morning, I'm in no mood for your selling. Go and shove it up your damn tin, up your Prover, be a whole tin. 'Cause I don't wanna buy anything today. Well, there should be a law against this constant harassing. Even when I piss, go and stuff it, go suck and kiss someone else's as you dig, 'cause I don't wanna buy anything today. Sell out fake celebrities gated straight up from Satan, up the ass. Oh, the only thing we get is more and more dead. Tell me now, can you guess? Well, I've paid my taxes, overpaid my dues. Is that my damn right to refuse? They call it marketing, I call it facula. Get out of my face unless you kiss my shoes, 'cause I don't wanna buy anything today. No money, no money, no money, no money, 'cause I don't wanna buy anything today. Got already, 'cause I don't wanna buy anything today. I don't want, 'cause I don't wanna buy anything today.
Azmyl, I want to ask you, since this is the second time or third time you come to Taiwan?
Third time, yeah.
The third time, right? And last time I saw you play, and it not as a musician, but as a kind of music as a way of communicate within this Asian community, right?
Yeah.
So can you talk about this kind of city within Asia we call inter-Asia kind of thing? So independent music can be as a very good tool for people within Asia country.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And to using music as a way of not only express themselves but to listen to other people and to care for their situation. Can you talk about this?
Definitely. I think we're not crossing over enough, I feel. One is as musicians, like we're not touring enough. Like, what's your excuse not to, Everything's like you said, it's a 3-hour plus flight or less. And also I wanted to leverage on my worlds as academic and musician, because both can also elicit greater solidarity between
exactly.
the
nowadays not many people talk about solidarity, right?
exactly. And what is about like this mine that's yours, So for me it's about problematizing this line that we draw, right? Especially again, Malaysia is quite interesting as a case study because Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, Brunei, we were one, even the Philippines, we all Austronesian. Look, Taiwan, if you want to draw, I have roots here in a way, Austronesian, whatever it is, we're one, right? But all these borders were, these are all colonial kind of like stuff, right? They drew the borders, and but I always felt that the need to look. I know, for example, like Malaysia, Indonesia, there's always this kind of like, I wouldn't say, what's the word again? Not competition, because Malaysia is too small to compete with Indonesia. But when me and my friend Bayangan, who's a solo singer-songwriter, shout out to Bayangan. So he was touring Indonesia in 2018. We played the whole of Java, and he said, "Hey, want to go tour me?" I said, "Sure." So I supported him, and so we were very clear when we performed in Indonesia, for example, was just to show, look, we exist. Telling Indonesia, hi, hey, we exist. Because Indonesia got their own thing.
It's very important.
Very important.
Touring is the lifeblood of
exactly.
the band, right?
Yes. So, and then we also got a Singaporean friend to tour with us. So it's really building that up. And then I started meeting friends in Thailand, touring in Thailand, the Philippines. Actually, my Philippines connection was through the academic circles,
Okay.
And played there once. Of course, going on a conference, but trying to really use the platform of touring and performing to show.
And you can encourage your students or your band say, come to Taiwan.
Yeah, and our fellow musicians. Yeah.
It's not so difficult.
It's not so difficult, you know. It's like
if your priorities, you have to be very enjoy yourself, not to care about big audience, right?
Yes, so I think that's the main problem with a lot of bands. I think they watch too much movies or I want a limo. Man, like I guess that helps. I'm coming from underground. We used to rough it out, sleep on sofa, slept on floor before, but fine. When you get a nice small hotel, you're happy. Well, fine, whatever. But what is your priority? It's like, for example, I always joke that I never take holidays. Holiday is boring. Go there, sit around, spend money. Like, I rather get touring, playing. I get to know the community. I get to meet people. I get to engage. And I'll sell some merch, to cover some costs. So these are questions I will ask some friends who play music. Hey, what's it? You want to do music, right? Like, come on. I mean, like, why save up a bit. Not every money. I've never asked a single cent from Malaysian government for touring. Never. Everything's come from I save up, I sell my merch, whatever. It's ironic because I'm an advisor for government agencies for funding. Yeah. They ask me, but I've never asked a single cent. Yeah. So
because nowadays in Taiwan, a lot of independent band actually is funded by the government.
Yeah. That's great because I think that awareness came because there's actually been a lot Taiwanese and Malaysian some festival organizers would come to Malaysia and do like a showcase. Recently there was one and I got to know some people and that's why I realized that Taiwanese government has funding. Malaysia only started maybe the last few years. It's great. I'm on that. I was on that committee as an advisor.
So if you got a chance, do you want to take money from the government? Do you?
No, paperwork, man. It's just I'm too lazy. But I'll see. I mean, we'll see. But I already have my way of operating. If I can operate on this level, unless for example, if I want to bring my band, then I might. So maybe if I want to scale up, I would need more funding. So because when I tour, this is why a lot of my bandmates, some are full-time musicians, some aren't,
So how do they survive?
A lot of us are multi-hyphenates, right? We do different things. And to me, I would tell friends, there's no shame in that.
Exactly.
There's no... I have some younger musician friends who say I've been a full-time musician. It's why does that distinction of full-time, part-time matter?
Exactly.
Yeah. So what? I spend 12 hours working in a bank, but I play music 2 hours. You don't quantify it that way. That 2 hours is more meaningful than 12 hours. So you're full time anyway. It's just that it doesn't pay as well as working in a bank, for example. So I think those distinctions also, I guess it's a form of decolonization, right? About what work and what your calling or vocation is. So I think people simplify those things too much. That I want to be full-time musician. It's not easy being full-time musician. You end up being a pop musician.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So music is kind of windows, right, for you.
Yes.
If you see different kind of things, and we need different kind of windows.
Of course. Yeah.
Not just one.
Can't have one window, then the sunlight one side only. You need more windows, man. So So more windows better. So it's and also I think if you work in, you do have another job, etc. Whatever. You also empathize with the working person, the everyday person. Musicians live in kind of a bubble, right? I wake up after sunset. I sleep when the sun rises. So you live in a different world. So how are you going to write about the everyday people? So that's why you become a dancing monkey on stage. You become an entertainer. So people treat you that way.
Exactly. So you have to engage your life with right?
I understand your struggle, man. Screw the boss, man. A musician doesn't have a boss.
That's what we call authenticity, sincerity, right?
So use that. For me, that's a pathway into understanding solidarity with fellow human beings. Because majority people have to work, do things they don't like. So I think
so that's the power of your music, right? People can communicate, say, okay, although you are not me, but we know what you're trying.
It's true.
Use the sound, the music, as a way of being together and kind of stick together.
True. And let's face the fact, a lot of musicians will live in a fantasy.
Exactly.
They live in a fantasy of being a musician. Because, you grew up seeing a rock poster. I want to be like that. Recently I saw one very interesting quote. I can't remember who was it. But it was saying that he was backstage with Lou Reed. And Lou Reed was looking at the mirror, wearing sunglasses. And he just said, he looked at the mirror and turned to him, I want to be like him. He was pointing to his mirror image.
Yeah.
I want to be like Lou Reed. Lou Reed
want to be the mirror.
So in other words, we all live whatever we want to be, a fantasy. So even you think of somebody like Lou Reed, why? Isn't he authentic? But so we all have that. Let's face the fact, I think that's very important because I think our sense of identity is too simplified to think it's not binary.
Exactly.
It's a lot more. The spectrum is a lot more.
Yeah. That kind of back to our previous issue about the kind of colonial critique, because identity politics is a big issue, right?
Big issue. Yeah.
But sometimes it's easy to be consumed within or subsumed within the kind of marketing kind of consumerism.
Yeah, very easy.
You are what you buy. You are But actually, identity is more kind of spectrum, right?
I find it interesting because I would treat identity politics like plasticine. It's like I can make it what I want, right? Like for example, why I write the songs in Malay? Because I would write songs in Malay language. The way I decide what to write is like what hasn't been written in about that. Like there's a song from an album called Skordeng Blues. Skordeng is a colloquial slang for peeping Tom, but you use the term for religious moral police. So I always wonder, like, why people always use the word Skordeng? Nobody's written a song about that. Okay, I'll write it then. If nobody wants to write it, So I will write things people never write.
You mean the track number 4,
Skordeng Blues. So do check out the
Okay.
YouTube. You can see the English subtitles. So my music videos on purpose from this album,
Yes.
I have subtitles in English so that
Exactly.
friends who don't speak language can get, this is what Malaysia is about.
Yeah. That's one thing about this digital era, right? You can put in YouTube and people can understand it. You can do the editing, and you can make new channels so people can understand.
It's finally, I think, like for a long time, I used to wonder, like, wow, I was conflicted. I play music, but my training's in film and journalism. How can these worlds meet? So thank you, social media, for coming, because now those things come into picture. It's like, okay, now I know. Okay, so my training has finally come into being. Like, let's face it, social media is reporting. It's journalism. So every time we used to joke, like we went on tour with my friends. After we performed, next morning over breakfast, everybody's on their phone, right? Well, reporting, like
reporting.
So we are doing all that stuff. We don't just you gotta think it a certain way.
Take it within your own hands, right? It's just like you said that. The guitar is a tool, right?
It's a tool. I don't fetishize the guitar.
It's a tool.
Yeah. I don't sit around and play. People have this idea, Azmyl play guitar. He probably got like 10 guitars at home. Probably play guitar. No, man. Like before this tour, right? My electric guitar, I haven't played electric guitar since February. I played festival. The string broke. I only opened it up like a week before coming here. It's still broken. So that's the last time I opened it. Cause like, why you wanna, like the excitement is when I pick it up and it's unfamiliar. Too familiar also. Familiarity breeds contempt, right? So I like a bit of that danger. So you gotta fool yourself to create these moments of excitement.
What do you mean by fool yourself?
Trick yourself.
Okay.
Like that. Like for example, like my temptation is after the gig, maybe I have to change that string. Maybe I should wipe the sweat on my guitar.
Okay.
But I don't. I leave it there.
Yeah.
I open it up. Oh, the string's still broken. Oh man. I was like, is it still working?
Back to the childish kind of innocent thing.
Yes.
Doing some tricks, right?
Completely opposite of what, let's say, if you...
Playful, right?
Playful. I think that concept of play is so important. Because that's what makes you excited about what you ever do, whether it's drawing or music or what.
Exactly.
When, it becomes your job, then you got, like I tell my film students, look, you're going to make videos and film for work. But you got to save some space for your own thing. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Once this becomes just a job.
Exactly.
So same thing with music. Like if you're a pop musician, you're playing Hotel California 200 times a week. like you gotta have like, okay, what do you actually want to do? You want to do like
exactly.
Want some guitar solos on your own. Do that. Yeah. I think we need that.
So this is a lesson for the youngster, huh? Give yourself some space for playing things that you never meant want to, and just do it.
Yeah. And question industry narratives. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks, man. All right. I dedicate this song to all of you creative types out there, you know. I know nowadays it's hard to earn a big living doing creative and art stuff, but you know, meaningful stuff sometimes take a while to really grow its roots and bear fruits, yeah. So this song goes all of you out there. It's not easy, but it's worth it. So this song, because we are in the business of turning shit to gold. Alright? Okay? So this song is called It's Not Easy. Oh, I think easier better without the pick. Yeah, okay. It's not easy being different. It's not like you're meant to be this way, but it's made you tough and patient. You used to feeling dismayed. What don't kill you makes you stronger. What don't kill you makes you stronger. It's not easy being patient. It's not like anyone is anyway. Turning rocks into diamonds, that's your calling, that's your trade. What don't fill you feeds your hunger. What don't fill you feeds your hunger. So wave goodbye to the miseries of yesteryears and take pride with what you've gained and turning shit to gold. Save the soul. What don't kill you makes you stranger. What don't kill you makes you stranger. So wave goodbye to the miseries of yesteryears and take pride with what you've gained and turning shit to gold. Save the soul. So say goodbye to the miseries of yesteryears and take pride with what you've gained and turning shit to gold. Save the soul. Save the soul. Terima kasih. Thank you.
谢谢。
Thank you. Aku dia, mereka, kami kita, kau ni apa? Ini jawapan muktamad gua. Aku manusia